As more people turn to social media for their news, we're seeing this play out more and more, whether it's during the protest for racial justice, the spread of COVID-19, or even mail-in voting. This wave of lies spreading about these events is having real-life consequences. The nonprofit group First Draft is working to combat misinformation leading up to the 2020 election. Jacqueline Mason is their senior investigative researcher.
It really doesn't know any bounds, and it really has an effect on public health. It has an effect on democracy. So it's a very big problem.
Mason says right now they're seeing a lot of misinformation spreading on social media, particularly about Antifa and the Black Lives Matter movement, with people quick to blame the activists for any violence or destruction without evidence.
We see that there's protests every single day, but we also see that they have been politicized and that the narratives have been attached to some political candidate.
Like this post from the Culpeper County Sheriff in Northern Virginia, who claims Antifa and the Black Lives Matter movement is not peaceful and at their heart are violent. We made repeated calls to the sheriff's office and county leaders, but got no response.
If we attach these narratives to a movement like BLM, for instance, it starts to spread that potentially this is a movement that could be dangerous, and support for that movement could wane when it really shouldn't.
The misinformation is quick to spread because Mason said people don't research, and if there's one grain of truth or if it lines up with their thinking and beliefs, there's no second guessing. For instance, this short video of President Trump was viewed by more than 5 million people and claims the president was disoriented, when in reality, the full video shows he was walking around a puddle to meet the First Lady.
So that can be just as harmful as an organized campaign, which is disinformation.
We saw the effects of an organized campaign leading up to the 2016 presidential race, according to U.S. intelligence agencies, when Russian trolls and bots used controversial topics to incite political division and alter your thinking by spreading false information. Now, Mason goes on to say, before you repost anything on social media, don't be so quick to reshare it. Do a simple search off of social media to find out if what you're sending out to the world is accurate. Bruce?